Good morning, afternoon or evening. I'm Spiderweb, keyboard player with the Horrors.
And I'm Faris and I sing in the same band. I always find pictures of people eating bananas really funny. I mean, not fairly childish, phallic way, but I mean, I just think it's really funny.
And also, I always think when I'm eating a banana that monkeys, who obviously are fans of bananas, as most people know, don't peel them in any way the same as us. They do this thing, they break out, and I kind of sometimes feel like we should do that as well.
Have you tried that?
I have tried that, yeah.
It's a lot messier though.
Yeah, no, it's not, because you just break the skin and open it up, and
you mean like you push it together?
Yeah, you kind of push it together and it kind of opens out like that. This is possibly one of the only food things that our press officer eats, Andy. He actually lives on a diet of Guinness and Bombay Bad Boy pot noodles, and refuses to eat anything else. And he's a vegetarian as well, and he's the only vegetarian I've ever met that doesn't actually eat any greens or any fresh fruit or any vegetables of any description.
When he first started doing our press, he was wearing flares. And he's been gradually taking them in by an inch every week so he can reach our standards, but he's still sort of...
He's a bit like a pet dog or cat, and he only eats dry food. It's one of those smells that you just smell everywhere and in the most unlikely places, in the most TCP unrelated places. It does seem to be one of those smells that follows you around, but maybe it was just Faris and his mangy, gangrenous knee.
Yeah, it was pretty gangrenous.
How did you injure it?
I jumped onto some broken glass. They are pretty much ruined.
Are they better now?
No, they're not.
They don't recover.
Would you like to keep that bottle of TCP?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Now we're going to be smelling it everywhere because it's going to be painting it on my back or something with this.
It doesn't really look like an easel. In fact, I can definitely dispose of that. It looks more like, to me, the Scissor Sisters egg, which is downstairs in the foyer, and I did actually once climb inside the egg and walk around these very buildings.
It's the most offensive smell in the world, and I would strongly encourage anyone to
Well,
throw their links away.
They
all smell the same. They all smell exactly the same. It reminds me of PE changing rooms, and actually as well on tour when we were in Japan, I was sharing a room with our roadie guy Phil, who uses it, and it was driving me mad. One thing was like sharing the room with him was fine, it was cool, but every time you walked in you were just hit in the face by this horrible stench. But it doesn't matter if it's not Lynx, I think it's just like, it's Lynx and Lynx type deodorants. Just they have this one base smell, and you kind of imagine in a factory that they have the one ingredient and then they just kind of add a little something to flavour around something around the edges.
I used to use that when I was like 13 because it was what I'd get for Christmas from my mum. I think it's always funny when you make a mess just to kind of leave it. The other day when we were on tour, I think I went into the View's dressing room within about 30 seconds, had spilt one of their, I just knocked over like a whole crate of beer and a load of smashed bottles on the floor, and I left straight away. That's what that reminds me of.
Actually, they don't wear deodorant.
They don't actually smell that bad, really. I mean, it wasn't offensive. It certainly wasn't.
No, I'm not saying that in an offensive way. They just actually said they don't wear deodorant.
No,
one of them told me. Actually, no, that's
what I
well,
mean,
maybe
though.
that was just Pete.
Being around them is not. It's not offensive to be in their company. It's not like with some people that actually just smell terrible. That
was the highlight of the NME tour, was actually meeting those guys and hanging out. We had a pretty good time. Well, we probably should say something.
Not really that bothered them.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, at least I'm sure this is probably the reason.
It's
and it's probably the best
true.
album you'll hear for ages.
It's probably the best album you'll hear
ever
today if you listen to it today. And don't listen to any other music.
Did you enjoy it in the end?
It wasn't unpleasant. A bit like the View's smell.